Hello again, everybody. Diamond Gems 45 back here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everything finds you well on Sunday morning. And hope you had the winner yesterday in the Derby. I did not. I had Sandman. Of course, I'm a Metallica fan who finished out of the money. And there's my Metallica bona fides, so to speak. But anyway, enough of that. We want to talk about a card show yesterday locally in Newburgh, Indiana, and some pickups I made. So, to that end, let's get started. Set up at the Newburgh, Indiana American Legion card show. It was Friday noon to 6 and Saturday 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and one of the best shows I ever had. Had a lot of mantle inventory that sold. It was a good weekend for vintage. If you were a vintage dealer there, you had a good weekend. There were vintage, modern, a lot of Pokemon people. I don't douse anybody's lamp, but I will light mine. Baseball cards have been around since the 1880s. That is nearly 150 years. And that's all I have to say about that. So anyway, the show was great. Brad and Neil put on a great show. They get people through the door. They like the customers. They like the dealers. They make everything really convenient for everybody. In fact, golly, last year I was set up at one of their Evansville, Indiana National Guard Armory shows, and the food truck guy backed out on them, so they just left the show, and went to one of the major pizza chains and just got pizzas and brought them in. I mean, I don't know exactly how many, but it seemingly you could have fed the entire National Guard with all the pizzas they bought. They really make everybody feel comfortable, feel at home, and make it a place to go if you're into cards in the Evansville, Indiana area. It's something you got to do. Anyway, to that end, met up with some guys and caught up with them. William of Hicks Sports Cards. I'll leave his information in the description below. He's going to be set up in Danville, Indiana next weekend. I believe it's the 10th, which is a Saturday. Danville, if I know my Indiana geography, hopefully, is a little west of Avon, which is a little west of the 465 circle around Indy, but it's still close enough to be in the Indianapolis gravitational pull, so he ought to do well up there. Great guy, a lot of good vintage stuff. Make sure you check him out if you're in that area and you go to that show. Also caught up with Dave, a guy I've known for 40 years. He used to be the beat writer for the local AAA team here. The AAA team here was here from 70 to 84, and he was here, I believe, 76 through 84. And at that time, they were the AAA team of the Detroit Tigers, and big time collector, has so much stuff. And he has a eBay store, and I will leave the information for his eBay store in the description also. But great to catch up with those guys. And I was around some, my table people around me were really good, really nice. And it's an American Legion, and you can order lunch. So I walk up there and get ready to order lunch, and the person taking the orders is also the person that delivers the food to the tables. I think they call that a waitress. And anyway, she comes out, with 3 plates of food on one arm. She says, "What do you have?" And I said, "Wait, well, just deliver those first, and you can come back. I can wait. I'm good. I could wait." And fellas, if you're in there and you're hungry, you're selling little pieces of cardboard for pretty good money, whether you're a vintage guy, a modern guy, a Pokemon guy, tip your wait staff. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, let's look at some cards. Made 5 pickups, 1 sold. Picked it up on Friday with the first card I'm going to show you, and it was a trade. I threw in on my end some cash and a 66 Mantle and a PSA 6, and in return I got a 1963 Fleer Willie Mays that you might have seen on my Instagram page. SGC5, really nice looking card, Willie Mays. Anyway, it's sold, and before I could come up on Sunday morning with this wrap-up video of all my pickups. So the other card in the deal that I got was this, I'm trying to hold it up. I can hide my face, I just don't want any glare. Let's see here. Yeah, 7 SGC Mickey Mantle and a 7. It's the 1960 All-Star high number. Pretty underrated tough series, really, in 1960. And that's the front. And El Baco, the back. There you go. There's the Mickey I got. It'll go into inventory when I do my next show. I don't know. It might be September. I got to get more inventory. Anyway, I'm kind of torn on this one. I'm leaning just personal collection. Although I collect Gibson, Musial, Brock, and Flood as far as my Cardinals are concerned. I do have various Cardinal cards of guys down through the years that I grew up, you know, listening to on the radio. And now and again when they had a Cardinal game on TV way back in the day, I'd watch them on TV. But picked up this 65 of Ken Boyer. Not in the Hall of Fame, 1964 NL MVP, the big grand slam in the 64 World Series, which after 7 games gave the Cardinals a 3-2 lead against the Yankees in World Series play. And for some reason, Harry Carey didn't like him. But that's another story for another day. Ken Boyer. Oh, also the only Cardinal whose number is retired that is not in the Baseball Hall of Fame. So there's Kenny, SGC 7. I love these. I love the light blue on the back of these 65s, and it's pretty nice and clean right there. Kenny Boyer. All right. And here's a one that'll go into inventory, Nolan Ryan. Still with the Angels back in the day. SGC Snowman. Here's the back of Mr. Ryan, Von Ryan's Express. Von Ryan's Express, underrated movie. Not bad. Not a bad card of Mr. Ryan. That'll go in inventory. And another inventory piece is the Bob Bonner rookie card that picked up, and also in an SGC Snowman. Come on Diamond Gems 45. You know that this is a Jeff Schneider. Is that his name? Yeah, Jeff Schneider. Hope his mom's not mad at me. Jeff Schneider rookie card. Not the other guy. Yeah, and what's that guy in the middle? Ripken? Cal Daniels? Whoever you are, I tell you, you get in a major league game, you better stay in there because there's somebody waiting to take your place. That's all I can say. Yeah, here's the SGC 8. SGC 8. that's the pickups I had. Once again, great show. Brad and Neil get people through the door, like I said, and I will leave their info in the description, at least their phone numbers. You can call them. They have shows at the National Guard Armory in Newburgh, Indiana, and shows at the American Legion in Newburgh, Indiana, the National Guard Armory in Evansville, Indiana, and I know they have at least two more this year at the Armory in Evansville. Table rates are really inexpensive, reasonable. It's a good way to go. They do right by the collectors and the dealers. And that's all I have. Hope you have a great Sunday, and make Monday count, and so long for just a while.